Okay, we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another daily coaching session. I'm Manny Garavito. This is on behalf of MiamiNetworking.com. And the reason why I go live every single day at 5 p.m. is to talk to you guys about anything in particular. However, preferably in online business. But there's a lot of factors that are involved when it comes to running a business online. Things like productivity, copywriting, relationships, podcasting, systems, etc., etc. And today, I'd like to go ahead and give a shout out to Lorena Tomsini, which showed up to Mornings with Manny today at 10:30 a.m. every Monday, by the way. And we had a great interview, and we talked about building relationships, some of the activities that we can do as entrepreneurs to continue building relationships and prioritizing what other people are saying about us. Okay, and that's our reputation, what other people think about us, how other people interact with us, how we respond to that feedback, whether it be positive or negative. And these little factors come together and they cultivate to build your personal brand. Now, in today's daily coaching session, I'd like to talk about personal branding. I just started reading a book called Platform. I forget the name of the author. I don't have it around me right now, but it seems like a very interesting book. I'm finishing up the first chapter now as we speak. I just got off from the couch to talk about this particular book to see if I can recall some of the things I've learned and also add some of the things that from previous attempts I can share when it comes to personal branding. So first and foremost, I'd like to start off by saying I believe personal branding is a misnomer because there's nothing really personal about the branding you have on your own. So is it really supposed to be considered personal branding, or is it branding of the ideas that you put out for people to respond to? Is it personal branding, or is it the branding of the community that you represent? Okay, so when you look at personal branding in that perspective, you can get a better definition on how to control it. And in order to control your personal brand, everything you do needs the right intention. People can read intentions, people can get an idea based on what you say and do. And what you say and do builds up to define who you are. It's your legacy. It's what you're doing right now and what you will be doing later. Okay, it's kind of like the root of your reality, the root of what defines you today moving forward. Now, of course, things change over time. However, what you do right now will count later. You know, as Warren Buffett said, the reason why someone lays under the shade is because someone planted a tree years ago. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to almost any asset. And a personal brand is an asset. It's an idea. It's what lives on. However, a personal brand is different than the branding you do in a business. And that's to your advantage. That's actually great news because your personal brand not only does it represent the people and the ideas of your thoughts, what you say, and your actions, but it also represents you as a human being. So there's no logo to your personal brand. There's your face. There's no copywriting to your personal brand. There's your message, your why. And if you watch a couple of videos before on the coaching session, we go deeper into understanding why everyone must have their why defined. And just to give you a quick breakdown, defining your why, as in your vision, the reason why you do the things you do, is a great way to cultivate personal branding. Also, having a story. Do you know your story? Why are you doing the things that you're doing now? Excuse me. So having your why helps you develop a story. And having a story helps develop your personal brand because people can see where you came from. Now, to convey your personal branding, to convey your story, to convey your why, everywhere that your face appears, have it aggregated to the right thing. That is your intention. Carlos W8338, welcome to the chat, buddy. We're talking about personal branding. If you have any questions about it, put it on the chat. So in personal branding, one way to control how people see you is what you put out there, everything you say and do. So when you go online and you start posting videos of cats, you're going to be personally branded as someone that posts videos about cats. If you post videos about your family, you're going to be considered as a family person. If you post videos of you vacationing, you're going to be considered as a vacationing person. Now, how do you balance business with personal when it comes to branding. Here's the way I would look at it. One recommendation would be make sure that you do have that balance, not too much on one side or the other, but always stay as human as possible with the intention. Okay. So if you're in business and you want to be personally branded in the industry you're in, for example, have it be such a big passion that is conveyed, even though it's not direct. So I'll give you an example. I do comedy and I love infotainment, meaning I love getting information and portraying it as entertainment. However, I don't only just want to be branded as a comedian. I want to be branded as somebody that understands online business. I want to be branded as somebody that knows how to connect other people with each other. Okay, there's different ways to do this. So what I do when it comes to my new project, where I have a calendar of events, but only for comedy clubs. I go out and I record myself talking to the managers, the wait staff, the owner of the comedy clubs in different cities all over the nation. Now, with that, I'm portraying my personal brand, the brand of the comedy club, and my intentions, my passion, what I like doing. So it goes far beyond me just on stage saying jokes. You know what I mean? Okay, so in your case, so let's say you're in real estate and you're also a family person. You could talk about your home and what made you purchase your home and the lovely family that you're growing up with in that home and why you got into real estate because of it. So now what you're doing is you're combining your personal life and your business life in a way that makes sense, in a way that it is infused together so that other people can understand your message and see where you're coming from. And this can go on further and further down the line in just about any kind of lifestyle, any kind of business, any kind of industry. It takes a little bit of creativity, but once you've got it figured out, you can just roll with it. And ultimately, you want people to see you as one thing and one thing only. However, you're a human being, and human beings are very complex. We can't be defined just one way. But what I would do is make that one thing, whatever you want to define yourself as, you, authentic. The more authentic you are, the better. Don't make it so complex to the point where you're multiplying your message for different kinds of people. Because as they say, if you try to impress lots of people or if you try to keep them happy, you're probably not going to be keeping most people happy. So if you keep yourself happy, people will see that. Okay. But find the balance, personal and business life. So when it comes to personal branding, the last thing I would like to say is make sure that you also have a passion where you can not only just data dump somebody with the stuff that you know, and data dumping is another word for someone that is kind of like just giving you information that most people don't usually need. And if you know how to communicate a passion, your personal branding will be elevated to a whole new level because passion is something that we as humans share. You can feel it off somebody. And if you're passionate about what you do, you're not only going to be talking about real estate, you're going to be talking about homes. You're going to be talking about how to make a living. You're going to be talking about how to purchase the right home, right? It's not about prices or it's not about square feet in a house. It's not about that stuff, right? That's just the details in what you do. But if you want to be personally branded as a real estate person, add that human factor to what you say and do. That way, your face will be remembered for real estate in a specific category, building homes, for example. And don't get so caught up on the aesthetics of things. One of the reasons I'm so fascinated about personal branding is when I go online and I try to figure it out, or at least when I did it early in my career as a comedian, I go online and I try to look at what people say personal branding is. And it's kind of almost, it's surface stuff. They say things like, take a good photo, use a color background, have a palette, make sure your design is like this, use your YouTube videos holding the product, those kinds of things. But that's not what personal branding is. Those are just, again, the details about personal branding, but it's not the essence of it. The essence of personal branding is you. Okay. Don't get caught up on the details of personal branding. The ultimate goal is to connect with someone as a human being because you're not just a company, you're representing the company, you're the face. There's a reason why all those companies hire people to be the face. Ronald McDonald, Flo from Progressive, the Geico Lizard, right? Santa Claus and the Coca-Cola. What does Santa Claus have to do with Coke? Nothing. But they want to add that lovable face next to the logo so that when the season comes, it's like, hey, it's Santa. Go buy yourself a Coca-Cola. Okay? So that's my take on personal branding. If you'd like to get some coaching on how to get your online business out there in the multitude of ways so that you don't feel overwhelmed, I can show you with one step at a time how to get your stuff out there. And with enough hard work, with a good work ethic, your online business can be successful in finding your tribe, finding your community, your audience of potential customers. Okay. Now more than ever, it's important to double down on online business because this is obviously where things are going. So if you don't know how to generate leads, I got you. You want to start a podcast? I got you. You want to monetize the podcast? I got you. Send me an email, manny@miaminetworking.com. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time for another daily coaching session, 5 p.m. Have a great night, everybody.